Howdy, friend.
Hi,
Hi.
can you
I
hear
have,
me?
yep. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hmm. Interesting. Let's see.
I had issues with my microphone last week. That's why I was curious.
Can you hear me? Hmm. No, you can't hear me. Hmm. Why isn't my thing working, I wonder?
I can't hear you. Is that what you said?
Uh-huh.
But you can hear me?
Yep.
That's weird.
That is weird. I wonder if it's just you.
Yeah, it could very well be, honestly. 'Cause I was having issues and they were supposed to fix it. Yeah. Maybe I should log off and log back in just that it's you, just in case, you know what I mean? Because I think I came on like a minute before you. Let me do that.
No, I think mine's working. I think it's hers, but I don't know. Zoom.
I can hear you now.
Oh, good. Okay.
It was my own fault. I'm dumb.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. My tech support was hovering nearby, ready to help, but
No,
I
it's
was
totally
like,
me.
you
So
can say that.
because my thing being, so I had that really important Zoom call with Women of Distinction for the first time on
Mm,
Thursday, and my microphone wasn't working.
that
And
sucks.
so I had to call in,
Hmm.
like, so it was my fault. I just realized it was because my volume was low. Sorry.
Oh, I do that all the time,
I
actually. Not
honestly
gonna
didn't
lie.
think
So,
my microphone was gonna work. So that's why I was like, oh, I better log on because they didn't fix it yet. So we'll see.
oh, you added the note taker. Good call. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this cold, snowy night. It's snowing here in Syracuse, New York. Not sure where you are, I mean, if it's snowing there or not. But yeah, it's pretty cold out. Hopefully, you guys had a decent weekend of staying warm and I don't know, doing some winter activities. Anybody do anything fun?
It's snowing right now down here. I'm down in the Binghamton area. I just let the dogs out right before the meeting. I was like, oh my goodness, where's the snow coming from? So, I mean, it is
Yep,
winter,
it
but
is
still.
winter. Yep, yep, yep. They had a winter fair up here in Syracuse, which I went to this weekend, and it was pretty funny. It was like the New York State Fair, but inside in the expo center, and that was pretty good. And my favorite part about it was they had pizza free, which I love. It's my favorite. Definitely ate a whole bunch of pizza free this weekend. Yeah. Anybody do anything super fun this weekend that they would like to share? No, just staying warm. That's cool too. Oh, you're at work. Okay, good. Catherine's here. She's at work. Deb's here. I see lots of folks ready to get talking about World Thinking Day. Woo!
Hello, Girl
Updates.
Scout.
Actually, don't really have any updates from our trip folks because it's kind of a in between month, right? So lots of stuff comes out in the first of the year, and then more stuff will come out in March. But February is kind of like a just stay warm and hunker down kind of month. I did see that Puxatawny Phil saw his shadow, unfortunately. So we have 6 more weeks of winter. I am currently watching Groundhog Day on repeat here in my household because I love it. It's my favorite. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? So there's that. And I have a special guest. Her name is Serafina. She's here to talk about World Thinking Day and WAGs. And that's it. Anyone have anything they want to chat about before we get into a couple of slides about my good friends at WAGS? Fantastic. All right, I'm going to keep my eyes here on the waiting room, and Serafina, take it away. Do you want my slideshow?
Yeah, you can pull up your slideshow. I have something I can share too. So we can just take turns sharing our screen. But hello, Girl Scouts. I'm Serafina, and Liz invited me here today to talk about World Thinking Day and WAGs because she knows that I love World Thinking Day. It's one of my favorite Girl Scout holidays, and it is only 20 days away. So has anyone celebrated World Thinking Day in the past with their troop, or are you guys planning on doing anything at the end of this month or sometime this year? You can raise your hand or give a thumbs up. Or if you haven't heard about World Thinking Day or WAGs, we will talk about that today. So does anybody know what WAGs is? What that word stands for? WAGs is the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. So you know when you wear your uniform, you have the pins on the little tab, and you have one on top and one on the bottom. The one on the bottom is probably a gold or a green trefoil, depending on when you got your pin. And that is to symbolize that you are a part of the Girl Scout membership. And then the one on top, which is the WAGs symbol, is to commemorate that we are all part of the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. It's called the World Trefoil Pin. Liz, do you have that in your spreadsheet, in your PowerPoint by chance?
I do not, but I have that. How about that?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, so that you guys probably recognize that. So that's the WAGs pin. And what's really cool about this pin that I learned while researching for World Thinking Day this year is that each part of this pin symbolizes something. So it's supposed to be a unifying symbol of WAGs with every part of it meaning something. So the golden trefoil in the middle is with the bright blue background, for example, represents the sun shining over all the children in the world. The three leaves represent the threefold promise as originally laid down by the founder, and the base of the stalk represents the flame of the love of humanity. The vein pointing upwards towards the center of the trefoil is the compass and needle pointing the way, and the two stars right there in the middle represent the promise and the law. So that is already one part of your World Thinking Day award that we've worked on today. So you can go and spread that news to your troop leader because that might be something new that they haven't learned about. So Liz has copied and pasted a little bit about the start of World Thinking Day and the start of WAGs, actually. And it's pretty interesting because our founder, Julia Gordon Lowe, met Lady and Mr. Baden Powell overseas, learned about this really cool thing that they were doing with scouting, and was like, we need to bring this to the Girl Scouts of America. To the girls of America. So she comes back over to America. She calls her cousin. They start talking, and she forms this amazing organization we're all a part of today. And by being a part of Girl Scouts, we're a part of WAGs. So we have this amazing global connection. Does anyone have any questions about WAGs right now?
No, but I am noticing I need to fix it, that I keep making the S little because I'm for some reason thinking that it's WAG, but really it's WAGs
WAGs.
with an S because of the Scouts, because we are the Girl
Ds.
Scouts. And I forget that I always think of it as being international, but I forget that Girl Scouts is part of WAGs and that I should not make the S little because that's the whole Scouts part of it. So I'll be fixing that in this presentation for future presentations.
Okay. So, yeah, that's funny because, it's like World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts because you're whispering it because it's not capitalized.
Yes, that's right. But it
Yes.
should definitely be capitalized.
So Girl Scouts of the USA pays for our membership to be a part of WAGs. So when you do your Girl Scout membership, a portion of that ends up going to the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. And there is actually 4 World Centers, and then there's a 5th World Center, which is like a bonus World Center. So there's 4 of them. There's one in Mexico, one in England, which I think you guys might be visiting on this trip.
Yeah, and that's exactly why we're talking about it in February right now, because we are actually going to the one in England. Does anyone know what it's called? Starts with a P, ends with an axe. It's Pax Lodge. Oh, did somebody put it in the chat? Possibly. I can't see the chat. Yes, thank you. That's exactly right. Good. And I think, Catherine, you've already been there actually. So it'll be your second time going to Pax Lodge. But I'm super excited because we are visiting a world center during this trip.
Yes, that's on my bucket list. So there's 5 of them. So we have Nuestra Cabana in Mexico, our chalet in Switzerland, which we have a group of Girl Scouts going this summer as well. And then we have Pax Lodge, which you'll be visiting, Sangam in India, and then there is a 5th World Center called Kusafiri, which currently is in Ghana. And fun fact about this World Center is that it has traveled across the continent of Africa. And next summer in 2026, there's going to be a world conference with WAGs, similar to how we have our Girl Scout conference. And they're going to vote on whether or not Kusafiri will stay in Ghana or if it will continue to travel across the countries in Africa. So that's something to keep your eye on, because if you want to visit Kusafiri, you're going to have to do a little research because you might not know where it is because it's kind of hidden. So a little bit about World Thinking Day. So has anyone earned their World Thinking Day award? Has anyone spent World Thinking Day with your troop? No. Okay. So the World Conference I just mentioned, World Thinking Day actually came from the 4th World Conference, which happened to be meeting in the USA that year. And they decided that they were going to create a day that Girl Guides and Girl Scouts could celebrate being together and being a part of this amazing movement. So they decided to celebrate it on the 22nd of February because that is the birthday of Lord Baden-Powell and his wife Olaf. So World Thinking Day is going to be 20 days from now, but you can earn your award any day of the year. So you'll often see troops and service units around this time of year doing international nights, international festivals where they invite other troops or people in the community to come and learn about different countries. They also will talk about the world centers, world WAGs, and all of the different types of scouting there is across the world. So we have Girl Guides, we have Scouts, we have Girl Scouts, all across the world, but we're all connected together. So this year's theme is actually our story. So if you have not earned your World Thinking Day award, this is a really good year to get started because our theme this year is about learning about our past and learning about our history, and then also looking at the future of the movement and how we are the change and we are the future. So I actually printed this big packet from WAGs. You can't see it. You can't see it because of my background. But you can download a World Thinking Day award packet from WAGs. You can also download one from GSUSA. I've done a little research. The GSUSA one lays out a really good framework of how to complete the award. It gives you different options similar to how our badges work. And then the WAGs one actually delves a little bit more into the history of WAGs. So I think that if you're looking to do this, I would print both of them because you can pull from both. As a council, we actually have really awesome resources for history. So if you, Liz, maybe want to share your screen, you could pull up like the Heritage Trunk webpage, or I can if you want to stop sharing.
Yeah, let's see.
We're really lucky that we have a super amazing history and archives committee who has created this wonderful resource for our troops. So the theme this year being our story and learning about history, I love bragging about this awesome resource that we have. Oh, sharing is not turned on. Oh, Liz is sharing. Woo. So this is our Honoring Our Heritage Patch program. So each of you has an office, which is probably closer to you than my office, but each office has one. And if you scroll down, Liz, you can see the requirements for this awesome Honoring Our Heritage badge that you can earn at the same time as earning your World Thinking Day one. You can download the booklet, which has some historical fun stuff to learn about. And then you can click on those buttons to reserve whichever trunk you want. So I can say they are probably reserved for this World Thinking Day, but if you wanted to learn about our history any other time of the year, you could download this. And for the next 4 years of World Thinking Day, the theme changes every year, but we're committing over the next 4 years to celebrate WAGs and celebrate our history. So this year is our story, and we'll talk about, everything I just mentioned. And then 2026, we're going to celebrate our friendship. So we're going to talk about how this is a chance for us to create meaningful connections with Girl Guides and Girl Scouts overseas. So this is something that maybe when you go to Pax Lodge, you want to think about, ooh, should I get that person's swap and we should exchange swaps and maybe we can be pen pals, make that connection with those people overseas because that is what being a part of this movement is all about, right? So Liz is showing you, we actually made our own World Center, National Center pamphlet that you can learn about. And this is really good, probably before you go on your trip, to learn a little bit about Pax Lodge. This is really good if you want to learn about World Thinking Day. All the good
these
stuff.
are great. These are all the things that you can learn about while visiting the World Centers.
Yes. And here's an activity about their flag. And I think below that is going to be the activity about the World Trefoil, possibly, maybe not.
Oh, there's Edith Macy. I was watching, so I watched this show called Elsbeth on, I don't know what channel it's on, NBC maybe. And I was watching it, the most recent episode, and it was taking place at this like spa retreat place. And it was Edith Macy. I recognized it. They filmed the show at Edith Macy. I was like, I was in that lodge. Pretty cool. They do a lot of filming of different shows there. So wait, what am I looking for? I missed it. I got distracted.
I don't know if it's in there.
Oh.
But, and then 2026 is our friendship is the theme. 2027 is our people, which is going to highlight change makers in the movement. I'm sure Juliet Gordon-Lowe, our Girl Scout founder, is probably somebody that you'll learn about during that year. And then 2028 is our future, which is the celebration of 100 years of WAG. So we're going to explore everything that WAGS has created over the last 100 years. And I think I forgot to mention, and Liz will share her screen, is that in 2026, the theme being our friendship, it's also 100 years of World Thinking Day. So if you're not going to earn your World Thinking Day award this year, you should definitely earn it next year, because how cool is it to say that you earned your World Thinking Day award during the 100th anniversary of World Thinking Day? And did anyone notice that I say award and I don't say badge? Did anyone notice that? This was something when I started working for the Girl Scouts, I had no idea. I'd been doing it wrong my whole life. I've been putting my World Thinking Day award on the back of my vest like a fun patch. It is not a fun patch. It's an award. It's actually considered one of those awards that you can wear near your Journey Summit pins and near your bronze and silver and gold awards at the top of your vest, because it is considered an award. It's not considered a badge. It's supposed to be on that left side. So fun fact that you can share with your troop when you earn this. Does anyone have any questions about WAGs or any questions about World Thinking Day?
I just wanted to put this up because you were talking about the 100th anniversary of World Thinking Day. Is it sharing the right thing on the screen? Okay, great. We are actually planning to travel there. We're going to India in 2026. So that'll be in February of 2026. I know that it lines up at least with our winter break here in upstate New York and Syracuse. Not sure if it aligns with other breaks around.
Half of our, it's going to be like half of our upstate New York break and then half of our Pennsylvania break. So I think this is going to be a really good trip. If you don't want to miss a full week of school, you might miss 1 or 2 days.
I feel like this might be an excused absence, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Possibly. Whoops.
Letters.
Oh, no. I got to go previous. Yeah. So just want to throw this out there. I know you're traveling with us this summer upcoming in 2025, but this is something to think about if you are interested in visiting any of the other world centers. We are going next year in 2025 to our chalet, which will kind of overlap with our trip, our England, Ireland, and Wales trip. So you won't be able to make that one, but India is here. And then we do have plans to visit Nuestra Cabana, Mexico, and Kusafiri in Ghana in the future. Hopefully it'll stay in Ghana because Ghana has like the great infrastructure. They have a physical building. And I've heard that it's a pretty cool place to go and visit. So we have lots of plans to visit these places in the future.
And
it's like a bucket list thing, right?
This sounded super exciting and you're like, wow, I want to learn more about World Thinking Day. So I just dropped in the chat, we have 3 different World Thinking Day events going on World Thinking Day. So we have one at Trefoil, which I'm going to be there. It's going to be super exciting, but all of our locations are fun. And then we have Hoover, and they have 2 sessions for Daisy Brownie Juniors and CSAs. And then at our main office, you can go hang out and see where Sarah Scott works. They have a Girl Scout museum, which is the perfect location because the theme of this year is our history. So I hope that you guys consider coming out and celebrating and earning that award with us. And I hope maybe I'll see you on our trip to India. But other than that, I can't wait to hear about how Pax Lodge goes. You guys are going to participate in a pinning ceremony. I'm jealous. I haven't visited Pax Lodge yet.
Yeah, I'm super excited. We are going to participate in a pinning ceremony. I wonder if the pin is going to be the world, like the
I think it's
trefoil.
different. It's going to be different for each world
Oh,
center. So you have to make that goal to get all 5 because you
that's
can't
cool.
get
Oh,
the same
all
place.
right. I do love collecting things. That is excellent. Any questions out there about the World Thinking Day, about the lodge, etc. that Serafina mentioned? Yeah, I think it's going to be super cool. I'm excited to see it. Previous. Oh, that's just our World Thinking Day situation here. Let me check the chat.
Oh, that's a really good question. Will you guys be bringing your uniforms for the pinning ceremony?
I think that that would be awesome. I don't think it's required, but if you have a sash maybe or something that's not like your full-on uniform, that might be a good thing to bring. I think that we have talked about wearing like a white shirt of some kind. I think that is like a thing to do when you go to one of these places. But I'm not sure, actually. That's a great question, and I will need to research that a little bit more, frankly, because I don't know the answer. Do you know, Serafina? Is there a uniform? Should we wear a uniform?
I don't think it's required because Girl
I don't have a
Scouts and Girl
uniform.
Guides have all different uniforms, but I can say it'd probably be cool to take that picture.
Mhm.
But I'm Googling now about the white shirt because when you mentioned that, I remembered a volunteer saying something to me about that. So you guys might have to do a little bit more research before you go. Sorry, I don't know the answer.
I think it'd be pretty cool if we could somehow bring our vests or sashes so that we could bring. Is a sash like a? I'm not a Girl Scout. I wasn't a Girl Scout. I never had these cool vests and sashes. So is a sash like it's an actual uniform piece, though, right? Like it's just like an abbreviated uniform piece. No, Sarah's.
It's
Girl
You
Scouts
tell
have a
us.
choice. Yep, they have a choice. They can wear a sash or a vest. It's the girls and the troops' choice.
That's cool.
Yep.
That's cool. I would want to wear a vest because if you get all your badges and your patches like on your sash, I feel like you'd run out of room, wouldn't you? I've seen vests with like extensions off the bottom of them with all the badges, and I love that. I would need like a straight up dress. Any other
A
questions?
uniform's not required. So truly you don't have to, I don't think you would have to take one because we don't even require a uniform per se. We just require the pin officially. So
and every member has a different uniform
yeah.
for WAGs.
Plus we only got a carry on everyone. So you got limited space.
Valid. This is valid. Yep.
Yeah.
Only got to carry on.
Yeah.
You can take your vest as your
But
personal item.
if you want the photo app, that's totally up to you. Like we're not telling you what to do, but I mean
It'd be a pretty cool photo op though, not gonna lie. Yep. Very cool. All right. Well, if nobody has any other questions for Serafina, who is our World Thinking Day expert, we'll let you go. Any other questions, comments? Sounds like a pretty cool opportunity to me. I wish I could go to India, but I think spaces are going to be pretty limited on that trip.
Yeah. But thank you guys. And if anyone ever has questions about World Thinking Day, sign up for our cool event and then you can ask me the questions there or you can email me.
Yes.
You guys have
Excellent.
a good night. Enjoy your trip. Safe travels.
Thank you. All right. Good. All right. I'm going to click back. Oh, no, I can't figure out how to do this. Oh, and show. All right. So, like I said, this month is a little bit weird because there's not really much going on. I don't have a lot of updates. We don't have to worry about our passes, our paperwork to get into England and the European Union yet. But I do have some quick reminders that I want to talk about. And that would be your passports. Talk about this at every single meeting, and I'm going to just keep talking about it even more and more as we get closer. There are 18 people going on this trip, which is more than half of the people going on this trip who have not submitted their passport information. So please submit your passport information as soon as you can. If you have not applied to get your passport, do it now. There is a chance that you're not going to get it if you wait longer than, I would say, mid-March-ish. We had some folks that really cut the line for the Japan trip. And one of our kiddos actually got their passport in the mail the day we all left. So they had to get on a different plane to come meet us in Tokyo. And that was not ideal. So make sure that you put in for your passport application right now or this upcoming week. It can take 6 to 8 weeks to process, but I know from just sort of recent news items that I've been reading that there's a little bit of a run at the passport office. So you might want to get your passport sooner rather than later if you don't have it. It's very easy to log into your account, put in your passport information, update that, click save, and you're good to go. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But like I said, it's a pretty easy thing to do in your own account. Cookie booths. I sent out a email earlier this week just as a reminder for this meeting, but I am doing cookie booths. So basically what would happen is you would say, I live in Rome, New York, and I would like to do a cookie booth. I look at all the cookie booths in Rome and I pick ones that match your request for like a day and a time and that kind of thing. And then I give you all the cookies and a table and some petty cash in a box. And I'm like, here you go to your booth. And then you do it. And then you sell the cookies. And then I take the cookies back and I take the cash and I put it in the bank. And then I attach it to your name and I send a check to EF Tours and it's amazing. So if you are interested in doing cookie booths, let me know. I will hook you up. And it's a great way to sort of get over the hump of whatever you might still owe for your trip. I know that, let's see, I feel like some folks on this call maybe did cookie booths with me before. But like I said, I try to make it as easy as humanly possible. And you are not on the hook for the cookies. I am for the travel troop. So keep that in mind. I want to mention tonight, just real quick, because you're going to get an email soon, that I will be sending out roommate requests. So an email will be coming from me asking about how you wish to room on this trip. Adults are typically roomed with other adults. So if you don't have a buddy, if you're an adult going and you don't have a buddy, or if you don't really know anyone, what I usually do is just pair you up with another random adult who's going. And I do think about you all as your own person and your personalities based on what I know of you. And I try to hook you up with folks that are like-minded as best that I can. So I usually do that unless I hear differently from you. Girls will room with girls. And the way that rooming works on this trip is that we don't really know what kind of hotel room / how many beds are going to be in the room until we get there and we talk to our tour director. And what they typically do is they give us a list on the bus and they'll say, all right, tonight we are going to a hotel and each of the rooms has 4 beds in them. And so based on what I know of you all and any requests that you might have to room with friends, I will put 4 kiddos in a room together and assign you that room assignment for that night. Typically it changes from day to day because sometimes we'll roll up and they'll be like, okay, now only 3 people can be in a room together. And so I kind of switch it up and base it on how you're getting along. A lot of times on these trips, you maybe come by yourself or you just know your mom or whatever, but then you make like 6 new best friends. And so we try to put you with those folks that you want to be with and hang out with and are like-minded with as we go on through our trip. So there's that. You can upgrade to a single room if you're an adult. It does cost a little bit extra. I think the cost is $560 if I'm thinking about that correctly. And that just means you get your own room. Adults, you can also request a room with your child, but that is also an additional cost. And here's a good friendly reminder that this trip is all about making new friends. So it's great for adults to make new friends. And it's also great for kiddos to be rooming with each other as well, because sometimes you stay up a little bit later than your mom might, or I don't know, you just want to be with people that are your own age, chatting about what happened during the day or whatever. So that is completely up to you, but I do encourage you to have your kiddo make new friends on this trip. So like I said, I'll be sending out an email specific to this a little bit later in the month before our next meeting. March 27th is our 110-day deadline. That's typically when payments are usually due, I think for manual payments anyways. If you're on auto payment, you still have time to continue to make those auto payments. Roommate requests come in during this time. And then passports are usually due at this time as well. March 27th is also going to be the last day to sign up for anyone. So I know there were a couple of folks on the last call that said, maybe I have someone that wants to go with us, and that's super cool. They can still sign up. But after that 110 deadline, no other people are allowed to sign on for this trip. So just keep that in mind. And then after 110 days, if you cancel the trip and you don't have that upgraded trip insurance through EF, there's penalties. There'll be some penalties, and it gets a little bit crazier as we go closer to our trip. So just keep that in mind. If you do have a new traveler that you know is going to sign up, if you could just let me know, that would be amazing, because I do have a traveler who is on our current trip who may need to drop off. And so what EF will do is they'll kind of like switch one for the other in the system, as long as it can be done before 110 days. So if you do have someone new that wants to join us, please just drop me a line and let me know so we can get that all settled and ready to go. So with that, any questions, comments, or concerns about any of the stuff that we talked about tonight? At our next meeting, I believe that our next meeting is about packing. And yes, we are doing a carry-on only scenario. So we're going to be talking about some things that you definitely need to pack, some things that you probably shouldn't pack, and then how we're all going to manage a carry-on piece of luggage. And that's it for our, 10-day trip? Is that how many days we're going?
It's totally possible. We got this.
Totally possible.
Mhm.
I spent 10 days in Japan with just a carry-on. You can do it.
Yep. Promise.
Yep.
It seems so scary, but when you're gonna be so proud of yourself when you do it. I promise.
Yep, you definitely will be. There's nothing worse than going on a 10-day trip that you're not spending the same days in hotels and losing your luggage. It is the worst ever. So we can do it. So it's 7:30, super quick meeting tonight. Like I said, I don't have a lot of updates. But if anyone has any questions or comments, pop them in the chat or unmute yourself right now if you would like to. Oh no, I want to go back previous. And if no one has anything else, I'll see you on Sunday, March 2nd at 7 p.m. Everyone cool? All right, good to touch base with you. Next meeting, I think, will be a little bit longer and a little bit more intense, but we can do it. So be safe, be warm, and I'll see you in about a month. Take care, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.